All right.
Hi.
Welcome back to Morbid Mondays,
Hello.
your unhinged source for what the fuck moments throughout history. That's right. Yeah. I'm your host, Brian.
I'm Katie.
Now let's get into it. I just jump scared Katie with recording.
I'm over here like looking at the Love in Deep Space news, and then he's like, "And now we're recording." Shit. Okay, hang on. Let me put away the handsome digital man.
Not the mermaid digital man?
It actually was the mermaid
Oh,
digital man.
whoa.
It is Raphael.
Oh, there we go.
Ta-da. No, it's really annoying because I'm just here to play a really pretty video game, fight some monsters, and romance a mob boss.
Oh, okay.
And the whole community is up in arms because they canceled one of the male leads because of some rumors and some shit, and it's very, very, very complicated, and I am on the side of bring back Valco because I want to play with the wolf.
Well,
But yeah,
I got a good story for you today.
Yes, please.
Are you ready to hear about the weirdest motherfucker? Like the weirdest person.
I love this shit.
I should start. Are you a fan of ultra millionaires that are just like eccentric weirdos? Not like the Elon Musk type.
Yes.
But kind of like the Elon Musk type.
I love me like the Willy Wonkas.
This guy is definitely a Willy Wonka. So today we're going to be talking about a man named Timothy Dexter. Timothy Dexter is a guy I've never heard of in my life.
Me either.
But there's a bunch of people that have done stuff on him, and there's a lot of scholarship on this guy.
Was he like a case study for something?
Of weird assholes, yes. So he was born in January 22nd of 1747 in Malden, Massachusetts colony. Because we're in 1747, there is no United States yet.
Okay, and he was ultra rich?
He will become ultra rich. That's, I don't know why I said it like that. He will become ultra rich. His family had been his family had been in the New World for about a century, and like many others, he was fairly poor. The product of Irish and English immigrants, which I found very funny because usually those two don't mix that well in this time period. So just 1 year before the border between Massachusetts and Rhode Island was set, that year the New York Bar Association was founded. It was the first bar association in America. So that's where we are. We're early. Where America is getting its real colonial foothold. We're not in the Jamestown version anymore. We're in the proper American colony. Boston is there.
There's an American girl that story is set right in here. I think her name's Felicity. What year is this?
1947 or about 1947. My God, 1747. Little Timmy, as I'm going to call him for a second, he wasn't much for school. At the age of 8, he quit school and became a farm worker until the age of 16. When he apprenticed to a leather dresser and tanner. Did you find it?
1774.
Oh, right before the Revolution.
Yeah.
Why does it say spanning to 1776? Did she die?
No. Her story, there's 4 or 5 little adventure books.
Oh, those are the time period of the books. I see. Okay. So, what's a leather dresser / tanner? I hear the disembodied voice of the internet saying.
Yeah.
So
I know what it is, but
a leather dresser, for those of y'all who don't know, is just somebody who makes clothing with leather. Usually today we would call that or not only clothing, but things with leather. Today we are highly specialized, and we have things like saddle makers specifically, and we have things like people would just say leather worker. But a leather dresser is somebody who makes custom wear out of leather. So a tanner, however, this process is it's the process of making leather from pigs, cows, etc.
And it smells bad.
Very much so. The process is very smelly, and in this time, a tannery is usually located outside of town or in specific parts of cities that are this is where the poors live, basically. I wrote as a note, it's the stench.
It's the smell.
Yeah. He learns how to tan and as well as work leather. By all accounts, he was very good at this. Not a lot about his early life, really, in historical accounts, but he's going to go on to sell leather goods for most of the future. Where am I reading? Mr. Dexter is about to have his first stroke of luck just before the Boston Massacre kicks off, which happens on March 5th, 1770. He meets a woman. She is 9 years older than he is, and he is now 26 years old.
Oh, okay, Cub.
A widowed wife. This is from Vintage News, the website, from Brad Smithfield. Elizabeth Frothingham was older. Frothingham.
That is the best name.
Widow and former associate of his. I assume that her late husband was a general store leatherwork purveyor. She was a mother of 4. She had money and established leather shop that her deceased husband had left behind. Soon enough, they married and moved to her estate in Boston, 1770. Now, some things, instead of saying Boston, will say a different town of Charleston, but it's not Charleston, North Carolina. It's Charlestown, Massachusetts. Okay. So if you do any independent research on this, this is the distinction there. It's not North Carolina. We're still in New England. He moved into her house, and the two of them set up a goods store in the basement, which was a common because it's cool and all that stuff. It's where you store stuff. Where he sold moose trousers.
I presume those would be trousers made of moose pelt.
Yes. I think they're supposed to be turned around inside out and be warm, or maybe just tough. I don't know why moose specifically.
Moose. Plural of moose. Yeah. Are very, 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 very difficult.
Yeah.
To unalive.
Especially with a musket.
Yeah.
But they did so very successfully quite often. So he sold gloves along with his moose trousers and several other stuff that was like leatherworks. And she sold notions, which I think sounds very funny. Here's your notions.
Well, it was.
We've got thoughts like arrogance and sadness. But it's
stuff.
Yeah, buttons and other accoutrement for sewing and all kinds of shit. Yeah, the patterns. There's patterns called notions that are kind of named after this, right? So now that he has a wife and a bunch of money, it was time to elevate his social standing to where he felt it should be. To accomplish this, he badgered the local government of the town of Malden for a political post. He was turned down over and over and over again. Never won any local elections or anything like that, but finally they just got tired of him. In 1776, he was appointed the Informer of Deer. He would say, "Here's your pamphlet," and they would go, "Ah."
I presume he had something more to do with migratory patterns, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the Informer of Deer is supposed to do is inform people in the area that there are deer because they're farmers, right? And deer tear up your crops.
I'm sorry.
It does sound a little bit like, and he's the solicitor of walrus. I don't know why they call it that.
I wish you moments like this. I really wish that we had a visual recording of the podcast as well, because the look on your and the Informer of Deer.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, you were so matter of fact with it and so serious.
So by all city records, according to all the city records of Malden, the last deer had disappeared from the Malden woods 19 years before.
Wow! So they really said, "Here's a title. It really just go away.
Just go away. Yeah. Here's your BS political post. Leave us alone." But it came with, he was very concerned with impressing his elite neighbors because she was wealthy. Mm-hmm. But he was just like some guy, and he could barely read and everything else, right?
Just some guy.
So he moves in. By all accounts, however, Timothy Dexter performed this act faithfully. And he did so all while wearing a gigantic bicorn hat. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, every freaking period, by the way, every period image of this guy has him wearing this thing. So if you look up Timothy Dexter, you will undoubtedly see a wood carving cutout of him wearing this dumbass hat. Think Napoleon. So it's not a tricorn like a pirate hat or like a Revolutionary American hat. It's the one that goes sideways, like just 2 points, and it goes sideways across.
It's like a taco. It's a folded fucking taco.
It's a giant taco with 2 tassels hanging off the end.
He looks like a goof.
It's like Napoleon's hat, but it's like 3 times the size.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's ridiculous. Because he is a ridiculous man. Dexter develops a real keeping up with the Joneses streak. He has famous neighbors like John Hancock, and he badly wants to be a part of their world. However, he is very much an outsider.
He wants to be in the room where it happens.
That's right. Yeah. He is fucking Alexander Hamilton if Alexander Hamilton routinely huffed glue. Now,
your derision for this man is fantastic.
He's ridiculous, and I love him sometimes. Like many complicated people, he is very fun and also kind of an asshole. So fast forward. The American Revolution is now in full swing. For those of you who are not familiar with this, 1776 is when it's kind of considered to really kick off the Declaration of Independence and everything else. It ends in 1783.
I'm having to rein in my theater kid here.
I know.
So hard.
And it ends at the Battle of Yorktown. Not really, though. It ends at the Treaty of Paris.
Oh, my God.
But the Battle of Yorktown is like the big turning point. That's why you have to march.
This is Morbid Monday.
Take the bullet
Hamilton
out your guns. Like that whole bit. It is the Hamilton. This is all happening at the same time.
This is the Hamilton episode.
Yeah.
Oh, but like not Hamilton.
Because it's not in New York, basically.
Oh my God, I didn't know Mila was in here.
She is sneaky. There's a cat in the room. So, American Revolution is happening. A new provisional government has released continental currency notes, which are rapidly devaluating because they're just printing them like gangbusters to pay people.
If you don't have if it's a greenback and you don't have the gold to back it,
you just print them, right?
Yeah,
so, and this is bad, but they figure they're going to hold out and win, and that's exactly what happens, as we all know, right? As an act of newfound patriotism, many wealthy colonials at this time are buying up large amounts to curb the inflation because they're just holding on to them. And that's like a way that you can actually fight inflation is by buying debt and just sitting on it. So they are losing money on this. This is something that they are doing because they believe in the government, right? They believe in this drive.
I also would believe in George Washington.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's
Here comes the general.
No! The like 6 foot tall redhead with hippo teeth.
Yes.
So this is where Timothy Dexter story
almost become a zombie.
Yep. This is where this really starts to get a bit ridiculous. All right. So on the bad and possibly malicious advice of the Boston aristocracy, Dexter uses all of his wife's money. Because remember, he's not wealthy. He's married into wealth. So this is now his money, but only because we're in a highly patriarchal government, right? So it goes to him. He uses all of his wife's money to buy as many continental dollars as he can. They go bankrupt because they're not worth anything, right? They're rapidly devaluing. He's losing a lot on this. But it's what his fancy neighbors are doing. So he does it. Until after the war comes to a close, the new United States decides to buy back these dollars at a penny per dollar.
Oh.
Now, that doesn't seem good. However, it doesn't seem like a lot, but Dexter bought crates of these hyperinflated notes. Now, many of our listeners, and possibly you, have heard of what is called the Zimbabwe dollar. At one point, Zimbabwe's currency got so inflated that a common currency was $1 million note.
Yeah.
So he's buying them at these kind of rates. They are massively inflated. And then they pay a penny back per dollar. He becomes phenomenally wealthy. He is a millionaire.
Oh my God.
Like he's the fucking it girl right now. Like it works so well by all accounts. He is phenomenally wealthy.
That's insane.
And that's not even the best of it, right? Okay. Astonished by his luck, his neighbors begin to give him all kinds of idiotic suggestions. He sends 40,000 on the advice of some of his neighbors to the Caribbean. Now, 40,000 bed warmers. Now, some of you might be familiar with Pirates of the Caribbean. The first scene, they have this like popcorn kettle looking pan that has coals in it that this maid is warming her bed up with for no reason because she lives in the fucking Bahamas. I will always be irritated by that. There's reasons why you would do that to get rid of like ticks and shit, which is, I presume, what they're doing there. Or maybe they just don't. They just took a page out of any Bridgerton type thing.
I think they were trying to establish the historicalness of the scene.
And by having a maid use a bed warmer, but not in England or any place else.
I see, once again, much like our Star Wars discussion earlier, I see what you were trying to do, but you did it wrong.
Yes. And I think they've cut, I don't know. I remember that being in there. That might be my faulty imagination.
It's
in there, right?
Very, very beginning.
Where the maid is turning her bed down. She uses a bed warmer. So, they were in the Caribbean, and here's why. They convince him to send these 40,000 bed warmers to the Caribbean. And they're useless as bed warmers. However, the very savvy salesman on this boat, and also the amazing amount of sugar processing that's going on in the Caribbean at this point.
Yep, because that's where we're getting rum.
What they do need is giant, long-handled ladles. Mm-hmm. Pots and ladles are in massive need in this place, and they buy them at a premium. And Timothy Dexter makes a fuck ton of money selling bed warmers to people in fucking Bahamas.
This guy just fuckwitted himself into billions.
Now, he also sends winter gloves,
which are going to be used as oven mitts.
Nope.
Oh?
Even better. There's a trader who will eventually make his way to Siberia, so he buys them all. He sells out of winter gloves in Nassau. I am fucking flabbergasted by this. He also gathers, because people are now going, well, why don't you, I don't know, so there's a vote in town. There's a bunch of stray cats in Boston. They vote on maybe killing these cats, because cats are not always liked, right? They're a bunch of stray cats. They're kind of a nuisance. They spread fleas, all that kind of stuff. So they're like, we got to get rid of these stupid-ass cats. They're everywhere. They have a vote to kill all these cats. In good conscience, people say no. However, somebody suggests to Timothy Dexter, hey, why don't you try selling these, you jackass? But they don't say that, but that is kind of like what's going on here. And he goes, maybe I will. And then so he gathers up, he pays a small amount for every stray cat caught in Boston warehouses, and he puts them on a ship and sails to the Caribbean with them.
Which takes care of their entire rat problem.
That's exactly what happens. All the sugar plantation farmers buy the cats out at a premium because cats are good at killing field mice.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So he makes a ton of money off of fucking selling feral cats to the Bahamas. Anyways.
Hysterical.
From History.com, on another occasion, HistoryCollective.com, on another occasion, rival merchants talked Timothy Dexter into another seemingly dumb idea in the hopes of ruining him, and got him to invest heavily in whale bones. As an accident, he bought
corsets.
He bought 340 tons of whale bones. As it turns out, as you just mentioned, this dumb investment turned into to be not so dumb. In those days, whale bones were the key ingredients in corset stays. And Dexter bought out so many of them that he cornered the market.
On baleen?
Yes.
That's
if you bought whale bones in this time period, so if you watch Bridgerton, the prequel, all the corsets they're wearing, every bone stay when they get a new corset is coming from him.
This is insane.
It's insane. And this guy is a barely literate guy with a big dumb hat walking around.
And he's got the fucking Midas touch.
Everything he touches. He got to set his own price on whale bones and unloaded them at a handsome profit. I'm flabbergasted here. His new so-called friends urged him to sell because they're frustrated now, right? And
they're trying to ruin this man, and everything he touches turns to gold.
So there is some amount of, are they just joking around and he's just kind of savvy, right? Because we don't really know. This is what books later write about this. But there's a common idiom at this time about selling useless items. It's called selling coal to Newcastle. Someone says this to him, and then he does it. Now, Newcastle is the largest coal producer in Great Britain. That name still holds true because in Australia, Newcastle Port Town in Australia is a massive coal producer. So even though Maggie Thatcher's thing killed this town off a while ago, it's still true. Selling coal to Newcastle is a little bit like saying selling ice to an Eskimo.
Mhm.
It's the more politically correct version of that, right? So here's the thing, Katie. He
How
loads
does he
up.
make it work?
He loads up a bunch of coal. He sails to Newcastle, and then he just gets lucky.
Really?
There's a miners' strike in Newcastle, and no coal is being produced. Fuck this guy. Like, he sells it at a premium again.
What god did his mother dedicate him to?
Shea Agorath.
Clearly.
Yeah, like, yes, it's insane.
This
It's
is
crazy.
Some Tuatha shit.
It's really wild.
This man leaves milk and honey on the windowsill every single night.
Yes. Yeah. And in turn, all of his shoes are fixed every morning. Like, it's this crazy kind of shit, right? So, just
Rumpelstiltskin looks at this man and goes, "God damn!"
You want to know how much money he actually made?
How much money did he make?
A-
It's gonna piss me off.
A barrel.
Uh-huh.
Now, remember how big ship barrels are,
Yes.
because this is a barrel like you would age whiskey in. A barrel and a half of silver coinage. Now, I don't know how much money that is today, but I can tell you that silver usually floats. A silver eagle usually floats between $35 and $50.
That's so much.
It's a lot of goddamn money. Despite his truly massive success, Dexter still is viewed as a low-class buffoon. And to be fair, he was a low-class buffoon.
I mean, but he's like the richest low-class buffoon.
That's why they hate him.
Like,
He's the nouveau riche, right?
He's making money hand over fist by just like accidentally being in the right place at the right time with a pseudo right thing.
Yeah. And like all these people go, but I'm a captain of industry or I'm a good trader and I've got all this education and I know why things should work and nothing this guy is doing should be this successful. So like that's the whole thing, right? And to be fair, he had the literacy level of a TikTok joke. I mean, like, read this word, and then they just kind of like go through it, and we'll discuss that later. He was the informer of deer in a town with no deer. He has to be he was known to be rude and often said to be insanely arrogant at times. And this brings us to his house.
Oh no.
Dexter
Schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
So Dexter wanted to leave the Boston area, right? He's not liked there. He wants to get out, and he feels that the aristocracy isn't taking him in.
Is he still married?
He's still married.
Okay.
Still very much married.
Does she like him?
We're going to get into that in a second. So now he sets his sights on Newburyport. Newburyport is a port
joking
town.
about the schnozberries.
It's yeah. I settled in Richbury Town. So he buys this. So he had bought a larger home from a wealthy elite named Nathaniel Tracy. Nathaniel Tracy is moving into a bigger house somewhere else.
This is the first reasonable name we've gotten.
Right. Yes. And he had it redecorated with bright, tacky colored painting and furniture.
How much of it was green?
Oh, like bright yellow and stuff. Like, I don't know because there's no photos, but a couple of people did mention that like art is often critiqued as being good for a certain reason. It's like perspective and its use of light and all that kind of stuff. This is just garish. This is like buying a Picasso because people think Picasso's nice, right? Like, so like people who buy like impressionistic art because they think, well, this is what art looks like. And
yes,
it's not like art for any good reason. Like Picasso was good because he was like the first one to do that, or one of the first to do what he was doing in Cubism. But like, this is not what's happening here. He's just buying the richest shit he can buy to be ostentatious. At his new house, he builds 40 pillars around 12 foot in height that decorate the front of the house and the grounds of the mansion. Each has a wooden statue of a famous American on top. George Washington and John Adams tower over his door.
Okay.
It is as weird as you think it
That's a
is.
choice.
Thomas Jefferson also had a bust erected for him.
Oh, I bet he loved that.
The sign painter was hired to write, because remember, this guy's not fully literate,
Yeah.
right? So he hires a sign maker, which is normal. You would hire someone to do this at the time. But he hired him to write a sign denoting who the statue was for. And he writes, Thomas Jefferson, writer of the Constitution. Never mind that Jefferson did not write the Constitution.
Nope.
He wrote the Declaration of Independence.
Yes.
When the painter pointed this out, Dexter pulled a pistol on him, shot it into the air, and threatened that he would shoot the man if he didn't finish the sign.
10 paces, turn, fire. Just Hamilton references everywhere in this one.
Of course, Dexter also had a statue made of himself.
Of course. In
Her.
his stupid hat.
Per ATI, which we'll get into what ATI. ATI is a website. All Things Interesting is what it stands for. In the front yard, he showed off 40 enormous statues, each costing a stunning $2,000. That's $2,000 their money.
God. So that's closer to like 2 million hours.
Adding up to more than double the cost of the chateau itself. The wooden statue celebrated the greatest Americans, including Dexter himself, obviously. I added that, right, standing alongside Washington, Jefferson, and Adams, Dexter's statue carried the inscription, I am the first in the East, the first in the West, and the greatest philosopher in the Western world. His house boasted curtains that once belonged to a French queen. Don't know which one, haven't been able to figure that out. However, one inscription did say, because of the constant raucous parties, that they had unsightly stains and immoral smells about them.
Immoral smells.
I'm paraphrasing because I didn't write down the actual quote.
Immoral smells.
But obviously the implication is that there's like juices on things.
Ugh. Ugh.
Dexter's finances were great. Despite all of this, right? He's super fucking wealthy. He's crazy rich. Family life, however, was a bit different.
Oh, here we go.
Dexter so Dexter and his wife fought a lot. He did not like
why.
her, right? Like, she was from a very wealthy upper class family. One of her relatives was the governor of Massachusetts.
Oh shit.
She is aristocracy,
Yeah.
right? Like she is connected.
She's money.
Yeah, she's like old money. This is like a daughter that was kind of bad on her luck, and I assume he was very handsome because he's a bit of a philanderer. We'll talk about that later. But like, he must have been fairly handsome and like and I think he has a kind of a Trump thing going on.
Ew.
He's super rich, and that allows him to like date and be with very beautiful women, regardless of like whatever else is going on. So Dexter would routinely tell people that his wife was dead. Whenever they saw her around the house, he would say that she was a ghost.
Wow.
One account that I read about this said that of the children said that one child was half mad and the other was just full on insane. They were drunk all the time. Absolute hellions.
Oh my god.
So, from vintage news, he eventually gained a few friends here and there, but he suspected that they were in it only for the money and proximity to wealth. So in his last attempt to test his worth, he staged his own funeral ceremony and forced his wife and children to take part, giving them clear instructions on how to behave at the service. And that service was a grand one. More than 3,000 people came, many of them only out of the curiosity of this guy, right?
Uh-huh.
They found him alive right after the ceremony, beating his wife with a cane in their kitchen for not, quote-unquote, crying enough. Instead of mourning him, he found her laughing along with the guests.
Oh my god. Dude. What a piece of shit.
Yeah. It's kind of assumed in this that everybody was semi-in on it. that like maybe it made that because this is the day of rumor mill, right?
Yeah.
Like half of these balls and people going from house to house and promenading along like main streets in this time period was because there's no radio. There's a newspaper. There's books.
There are books.
Yeah.
There are art exhibits, but there's no media. There's no instant entertainment like what we have.
Yeah. One of the reasons why you would get out in town is to hear the crier,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's like people standing on the corner that are announcing news. And sometimes people would deliver, as we saw in Hamilton, there were people that would just write things and just shout them at you, right? Like their own little pamphlets and such, or hand them out.
Do not quote Hamilton again, Katie. Don't do it. Don't do it.
What does he say? This guy's got more wit than, or this guy has less wit than my dog.
My dog speaks more eloquently.
Yeah. So the local kids, though, well, no, I'm skipping ahead. His manor has also evolved into a kind of party house. Prostitution and parties were common. On one occasion, a lawyer beat the shit out of him in the middle of the street. This was because Dexter had been sleeping with his wife.
Oh my God.
The local kids, he's a pariah. The rich don't like him, but they kind of have to put up with him because he's around. The local kids, however, love him. He would offer them money, about $5 today.
Jesus.
Constantly. If they referred to him as Lord Timothy Dexter, because he very much wanted people to call him Lord Timothy Dexter. Never mind that the American Revolution had just fought an entire war, ending the whole thing about having lords, right? And this is all in recent memory.
God.
Per Genevieve Carleton for ATI, on July 4th, 1793, Timothy Dexter gave a speech in Boston to celebrate the new nation. But the eccentric millionaire decided to speak in French, probably because it made him sound fancy. That was the aristocratic language of the day.
I bet he butchered the fuck out of that.
In spite of the quote-unquote small chance I have had to learn French, his lack of familiarity with the language showed. During the speech, Dexter wished his audience good breeding, piety, and wine. Now, I think what he was going for was long life and health, maybe?
Yeah.
But whatever the French equivalent to that is. So let's talk about his book. He's published author, Katie. This is a part that'll piss you off so bad. 8 editions, Katie, and they made money.
What?
Yes, it was a smash hit. It had 8 editions. In the latter, so the first one was a vanity project. The first one, he makes a book and he just delivers it. People buy it, but it's a vanity thing, right? Like he just makes it. All the other editions sold. They were bought by print shops. They sold them.
This is insane.
They were popular. So,
what?
As a person who has attempted writing myself, this kind of irritates the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I'm just hating.
I'm openly hating.
Yeah.
Dude, you're an idiot. I mean, you're an idiot that's clearly been blessed by several gods of luck.
Yeah. So he was concerned about his legacy. We're getting on in years, and he wants people to know him for who he was, right? For who he is.
Well,
he's a
you're
great
certainly
man.
Remembered for your stupid hat.
He's the greatest philosopher in the West.
Dream the fuck on, hiker.
So he decides to pen a novel. Now remember, he could barely read.
Yeah. And I imagine he can't write very well either, and his penmanship is probably awful.
He filled his whole house, because rich people have big libraries at this time. He filled his whole house with books, but he was known to only spend about 10 minutes reading. Now, I have like sympathy for this as a person with mad ADHD. It's very hard for me to read for long periods of time. However, his thing was because of illiteracy, right? And normally I don't make fun of people for that, but this guy's got the money to learn how to read.
You have the money and the time, bro.
But it's that arrogance is getting in the way. So, A Pickle for the Knowing is the name of this book. It is infamous for its horrible spelling. And literally no punctuation.
Oh my God.
Not a period, not a comma. Oxford never heard of this bitch. Like,
fuck you, that was good.
Yeah. When criticized for this, and
Oxford said, we don't know her.
this is where you're going to like him. Ready?
Oh,
When criticized for this, the next edition included pages of punctuation at the end with a note. They may pepper and salt it as they please. Like,
fuck you. That's good.
now here's where I make fun of him though. I'm going to read it as he spelled it.
Uh-oh.
They may pepper and salt as they please. He misspelled damn near every word.
God damn.
But it is very funny.
Okay. All right. I'll give him points for audacity.
I may have skipped this. Did I say that there were pages of punctuations?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And they literally are rows of periods, rows of commas, rows of like ampersands, rows of exclamation points. Like that kind of shit.
All right.
It's like 11 pages.
That's good.
It's pretty damn funny.
Fuck you. Oh, I'm so mad. That's so good.
Now, he's so goddamn irritating at this point that his wife moves. She moves out of the house and just goes and builds a house elsewhere.
Period. Yes, ma'am.
And he doesn't seem to care very much because there's like a constant rager going on at this crazy house. Because you know how like we think of like Mad King George?
Mm-hmm.
He's like Mad King George. He's like a weird guy with a crazy house and, like, and some people describe his home as like the first McMansion because he buys it from this guy, Nathaniel Tracy, and then he builds like everything around it. And so it's got like this really nice privy. They talk about that a lot, that like he spared no expense. And I'm like, yeah, I can't knock him for that.
Yes, same.
Yeah, privies were gross. I want a nice one.
That was dude, when we bought our house, that was the first thing I changed. I redid the bathrooms.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like you're stuck in here from time to time. Yeah. It might as well be nice, right?
Listen, I have Crohn's. My digestive system is broken. My bathroom's going to be...
It better be spot on.
Yes.
Yeah. And we live in a place where like greasy tacos are a normal part of life.
I told you I was making burrito later this week.
So he dies in 1806. I know, so sad. His neighbors, but to a full-on procession. I mean, like, he has a mausoleum.
Probably people going, okay, is he actually dead this time?
Right. There's a lot of people write about him in several books. So his old house is donated and is now currently a public library. There's this big, beautiful house that you can go into, and it's a public library. Because remember, he bought all these books. Yeah. It became a public library. From All Things Interesting, in 1801, Political Primer dubbed Thomas Jefferson the first man of the Revolution, right? Because he writes the Declaration. War hero Ethan Allen, who, if y'all didn't know that, Ethan Allen, the linens company and T-shirt and all that kind of stuff, the reason why they have so much like America-centric thing is because Ethan Allen was a war hero in Revolutionary War. And then also years later, the guy that founded the company, I think, was also named Ethan Allen. There's a whole thing about that. But Ethan Allen, the strongest man, and Timothy Dexter made the list as the strangest man. The year he died in 1806. This is when he's alive.
Yeah. They're
writing this about him. One thing of note that I did find that I found was fucking hilarious. There's a song on YouTube Music by a guy called Stickman Flow from the album Motivational Quotes for Gangsters, which is one word, by the way. Stickman Flow is one word. Side note, the only band I've ever come across where all comments were turned off for every song they've ever published.
Oh my God.
It's like, it has Lonely Island vibes, but it's like Lonely Island if it was written by the Beastie Boys. It's like, it's rap, but it's not like good, but it is very fun. Like, it's not good in the technical sense, but it's funny and it's creative. I became a bit of a fan of this band because I'm like, this is the weirdest shit ever.
You do like off the wall music though.
I love crazy shit. It's
like some of the videos you have sent me on TikTok are just choice for 3 a.m. What the fuck?
So here's where we are with this guy. Sadly, all the like statues and such, some of them were auctioned off way later for like a lot of money because they're period statues.
Yeah, but they're period statues of this goober.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's the thing about like auctions, right? The story often matters more than the thing itself.
Okay, that's fair.
And what a fucking weird story. What a weird story.
This guy's the definition of goober.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, if you've got my crazy millionaire uncle, and he like comes through with like 2 monocles instead of just glasses, that's this guy.
2 monocles instead of glasses, chartreuse trousers.
Yeah.
He's wearing those stacked heels
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
that went out of fashion like 20 years ago, but they make him taller and they make his calves look great. He's wearing high heels.
Yes.
He's wearing stilettos.
And to be fair to like the rest of the people in his generation, Jefferson did this shit too.
Oh yeah.
Jefferson was a crazy dresser.
Yes.
And so that's where we are. That's the end of the story. That's Timothy Dexter, America's first eccentric millionaire.
That's fucking hysterical. This guy just oopsie-daisied his way into stupid amounts of money.
Yeah. And you can go visit all of his like his housing and stuff. It doesn't look like that anymore, but the houses are all still there. They were pristinely kept. There was a small fire at one point, but they repaired it. They're all there. They were
the wallpaper in his house is crazy.
well, like I don't
was.
know if they kept the original because they restored it afterwards, but they had, because this area of time kept excellent notes on everything, they had the blueprints to the place and they were able to just rebuild it. So it's a nuts looking thing. They are 40-foot like pillars in his yard with man-sized, because they're lifelike statues. They're man-sized statues on 40-foot pillars.
Oh
it's
my
real weird looking.
I punched the microphone.
And anyways, that's Timothy Dexter. I got nothing. I'm like,
that's fucking crazy, dude. Like, what?
yeah. That's where I was like, I got to the end of this making these notes, and I'm like, I'm done with this man. Because when you read, I had an excerpt that was written down for his book.
Uh-huh.
I want you to know it's jumbledy gook. Like when you read it, you're just like,
is it like getting a text message from me when when Lunesta is involved?
Yes. Do you know how I've made fun of like colonial people, like Puritans in the time, where I was like, ye have a wee with a niffy.
Yeah.
You know, talking to Abigail Puttenham like that. Like that's how he writes.
He was writing phonetically.
Yeah, because he can't read, right? Like he can't read and write. And even then, all the stuff is spelled wrong. There's no punctuation. It's 40 pages long. And these are like
40 pages of run-on sentence.
Of just run-on sentence. It was very popular, and it had people wondering if he was crazy or not. And like, that's why it was so popular. They were like, it's weird. He paid to have this published, so this would have never made it through. Normally, you have like editors.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention a whole thing about him. So
well,
he wanted people to spread his tale, to tell how, you know, he couldn't write, so he was like, how important I am as man. I'm the fucking best in the East, the best in the West, the best philosopher. Plato, fuck that guy.
Shut the fuck up, you dweeb.
So he buys, this is how I connect him to like modern millionaires, like modern billionaires rather.
Uh-huh.
He purchases a poet. He goes out and he finds a poet and he pays him to extol his virtues.
Toss a coin to your witcher.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Now here's the great part, because he is in fact a rube. He has him done up with laurels like he's fucking Caesar, except for he's in America and there are no olive laurels.
Yeah, what?
So guess what he uses?
What?
Parsley. He dresses his hair in parsley. This is buying X and then having it be garbage afterwards.
Yeah. Well, and nobody calls it X anyway. We all call it Twitter still.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. And then people just kind of go, well, here comes Dexter. Yeah.
Parsley.
And the life image of him that you looked up, which is the only image you'll find of Dexter if you look up his, you will notice that his cheeks are quite rosy.
Yeah.
And I have to wonder if he just literally rouged circles onto his face.
Oh my god.
Because that's what like New England types were doing with like powdered wigs and such.
I'm so very confused by this man. How are you? Wow. With a tiny dog.
He also, little schnauzer or something, like terrier. He also sold Bibles to the Caribbean. That was another thing. He bought a bunch of Bibles in New England. Gutenberg presses are, and set type presses are running all over the place, right? There's a ton of Bibles around. He buys these Bibles, and Bibles are expensive at this time. They're not cheap. He buys them, and he carries them to the Caribbean, and then no one's buying the Bibles. And then so he starts lambasting the people about, you're going to go to hell if each one of you doesn't have a Bible in your house. And like he is so convincing and fiery about this that he sells the Bibles.
He goes all fire and brimstone on them, and it works.
And this story is why a lot of people think maybe he was not an idiot. He just played the fool very well.
A little bit.
Like in the way that like some people are kind of like Howard Hughes was nuts, right? Howard Hughes needed mental health care really, really bad, but was also kind of a genius. Like kept people around who were very smart, especially. Very famously, one of his like great loves in his life, Hedy Lamarr, was a literal genius, and they designed his fast flying plane together by studying fish and birds and taking the commonalities of their shape, of why they are fast. And his plane was designed off of that principle.
Oh, that's neat.
I
didn't know that.
It broke all kinds of speed records in its day. The one he crashed was that plane.
Ooh.
So like, or a prototype of what will eventually become one of his like fighter planes that never quite gets made. But like, that was true of a lot of wealthy eccentrics at the time. His Spruce Goose that he would later make, his big like cargo plane, his sea landing cargo plane, was made out of pine because they wouldn't allow him to use aluminum to make it because it was wartime and aluminum was needed for the war. So he couldn't get the permissions to use the aluminum. So he used lightweight spruce, right? So he made a giant plane that only ever flew once out of spruce.
And it worked.
And it worked. It actually did fly, and it is kind of the basis, like I say kind of, because how you loaded things into it is that the cockpit came up and it completely opened, and the back completely opened. You may know this as the Hercules.
Yeah.
But when you look at them side by side, it's the forerunner of the Hercules.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
never
like
connected those two.
Well, no, they're not really connected, but you can see the design elements where, like, we all learn from each other all the time when somebody makes something. This is like a visionary thing that a lot of people are going to use. And so he was like a crazy guy that when he died, there was like jars of urine all around his room that he was afraid that people would mess with him somehow or he would get sick. So he like lived in a movie theater in Vegas and he's, by the way, Howard Hughes is the guy. We're going to do a thing on Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes is way more influential than people think he is. The Aviator got a lot right. The movie The Aviator got a lot right. And then more. Like, he kept going, right? But that's our short, relatively short episode because there's not a lot. This guy's just like the first investment banker crank that's like really weird and does weird stuff. But he was so fucking lucky. Like he was like the devil. He was so damn lucky. Or possibly eccentric, but very, very smart. And we don't really know. Because the thing is that like that kind of luck is crazy.
That kind of luck is deeply improbable.
And
come on.
He shows several times, like with the Bible thing, that some of this is on his own drive.
Bed warmers to the Caribbean.
Yeah. Now that one's not on him. That one's on his like boat pilot that goes out and sells them. But maybe that's what gets the cogs turning of capturing the market in quote unquote useless goods.
The baleen things got me floored.
Yeah. He got in on the ground floor of beaver skin hats, right? It's that kind of...
Yeah.
It's like if you were the first guy to buy up tulip pods in Holland before it hit.
Yeah. God damn.
Yeah. Yeah. When I read that, I was like, this is the fucking corset guy? Like that.
This is the corset guy. Fuck. I had no idea.
Just some crazy shit. He was like one of the first people to ever short financial, like to go in on penny stocks and buy them all out. And because that's what the dollar basically was. It was a massively inflated currency. He bought them out and on 1 in 100 profit, like a penny $2 profit. He made tons of money.
Insane. This is I want to believe the historical rumor mill of this man is a buffoon. But there's just too much there that there's no way that he wasn't at least partially savvy.
Yeah.
In something.
Just very uneducated.
Yeah.
And kind of a dick. But like,
yeah, obviously. Like,
kind of the thing about him telling everybody his wife is a ghost. One of these accounts, when he says that, his wife is standing next to him.
I really hope she slapped the shit out of him.
He just ignores her. When she starts talking, he just acts like he can't hear her. He's gaslighting his wife.
The only reason you're rich is because she was first.
Yeah. That's the seed profit. Before then, he was like making moose pants.
Moose pants.
Yeah, moose pants.
Moose pants.
Makes all the boy moose go, wah. Anyway. All right. That's our episode for the day.
Brian, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for this gift. Oh my God, this was fantastic.
Yeah.
Not much morbid here. Thank fuck.
Yeah, there's not a lot of morbid here, but other than
this is hysterical.
Other than just like stupid, well, like the only thing morbid about this is that like you as a hardworking individual are not likely to ever
experience this.
Yeah, it was like
oh my God.
Oh.
They may pepper and salt it as they please. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh. So good. That's so good. And that line right there, that despite its spelling, the sheer sass and audacity in that leads me to believe that this man was not an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, that he was
an asshole and a weirdo, but he wasn't an idiot.
He pulled the Chappelle line of like, fuck you, I'm rich, bitch. You know, like, and then left.
Yes.
That's exactly what he did. Crazy shit. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, this is Brian from Morbid Mondays. If you like the show, please consider stopping by at our Ko-fi account. That's ko-fi/Morbid Mondays. It's $1 a month or just any one-time tip. And if you would like to help us fund our future endeavors or just want to show a little bit of appreciation, awesome. Thank you so much for listening. And if you don't. Whatever. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening.